husband Arnie decided to buy me a camera, a high-end camera, a Canon Rebel, and he bought it at all places he could think of. He was big into going to pawn shops, and so he went to a pawn shop and found a camera, and luckily it worked very well for me, and I took that out and started focusing on things that I'd like to shoot, like powwows, cultural events in the community. That kind of started my passion for photography, because before I didn't have it at all.
My name is Bruce Johnson. I'm the minister here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Duluth, Minnesota. Well, we have a group called the Arts Council that is concerned to bring elements of the visual arts into our space. We recognize that that's an important part of spiritual inspiration. So we've had various exhibits, and members of the Arts Council knew of Ivy's work, of course, invited her, asked her if she'd be willing to show her photographs. And we generally like to have the artist talk to the congregation about where their art comes from, what are the sources of inspiration for them. And we recognize that people do draw spiritual sustenance from things of beauty, and art is not something other than religion. It's integral to spiritual life, I think. That's our approach, and the building was really built with that in mind. These walls were left blank with the idea that we would be using them in this way.
When I was thinking about this exhibit and choosing the photos, I wanted to incorporate Ojibwe language into the title of it. And so I asked one of my friends who's a fluent speaker, I said, is there anything that comes to mind for you? Because I had the honoring our traditions part, but I didn't have that first part. And he said, well, maybe Naamijig, because it's those who dance. I shoot powwows because I've been going to powwow since I was 18, 17 years old. My mom brought me to my first powwow, and been going to them ever since. And so they're very close and near to my heart, and it's just a natural for me to bring the camera there and capture that beauty. I find beauty in everything at a powwow. I like to focus in on individual dancers, as you can tell. I like portraits. I like to shoot movement as well, as they're dancing. I like to get in close. I have a 250 to 500 millimeter lens. I like to use that to get in real close and get those pictures. There's beauty in everything there. And it's the scene, just the scene is beautiful with the drum beat and the singing and the dancers and the movement and the colors and the fringe and the jingles and the bells. And it's just, all of it, all together, woven together, makes it perfect for me as a photographer. With any photo, if it's a person or an object, if I know I've taken the best picture of it, I tell people I equate it with the feeling of falling in love for the very first time. And it really does feel that way. And even just talking about it right now, I get that feeling a little bit. A few years ago when I was at the Ojibwe language camp, and I was interviewed by a journalist about why I was there. And I told her that I was there because I wanted to learn more about the language, my Indigenous language. I wanted to be there to learn more about the culture, and it brought me closer to my great-grandmother, who was full-blood Ojibwe, Grand Portage Ojibwe. She spoke the language. She probably, when she was younger, knew the ceremonies, but through time and influence from the dominant society, she lost a lot of that, which meant my grandmother knows just a few Ojibwe words, and she knows some things about the culture. And then it took my mother to go to college to learn more about who she was as an Ojibwe woman. And then it comes to me. Growing Native, I may have not literally grown up in my younger years as Native, but I grew into it and embraced what it means to be Anishinaabe.